Hey guys, we're about to do an episode of SmartLess. Are you guys ready?
Are you ready?
Coming in hot.
My brain thinks too fast before my mouth.
Are you just sliding us in here?
Yeah.
I'm sliding us in here because I like the energy. I like the energy in my voice right now. I like how fast I'm talking. I'm really excited for the episode. You guys on board to listen or what?
Sean, sit down.
Sorry.
Just take a second.
Sit back down. Buckle up. Here comes some SmartLess.
SmartLess.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but can I ask you a question?
Is that the part I'm going to take the wrong way? Or is it the question that's coming?
Here's the question. In the last 12 hours, have you been chugging soy sauce?
Boy, that's a pretty shiny glass house. You just clean those windows? You fucking...
But there's a lot of sodium in those hot dogs at the Dodger Stadium.
And especially the veggie dogs, which, my soft Hollywood ass eats. And then
Of course you do. You ask them to cut the dog into a salad form, and you just eat it.
By the way, we've all seen your hot saggy ass in Ozark. It's a nice ass.
Yeah, it's not
Good
20.
looking. It's good looking.
And then I had 4 bags of peanuts. Those come salted. But you know what?
Did you really have 4 bags of peanuts?
Yeah, but they're smaller this year. So it's really 2.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
what you tell yourself. That's a good story you tell yourself.
I love I was going to do a nut joke and
Bag of nuts. You say it.
You love chugging nuts. Say
Yeah,
that.
in my mouth and nice bag of nuts. And
Yeah.
But it's cheap. This is a cheap joke.
It is cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I was gonna, what's driving me crazy? I was thinking about you driving to the thing was like driving. We had never talked about driving on the show. I had a guy yesterday park his car half in a parking spot, and so that his right bumper was almost an inch from my door, so I couldn't get back into my car. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Hey, man!" And I see this woman. I go, "Look at this parking job." And this woman's on the other side of me going to get in her car, and she goes, "Oh, I thought you were talking about mine because my parking's not great." Because she had, in fairness, she'd attempted a parallel parking with no other cars around her and bailed because it wasn't great. But
I love watching somebody bail from a parking.
Yeah.
With all that extra space.
she actually looked over at me when I was sitting there with the kids. We were waiting for food, sitting outside this restaurant. She looks at me and I kind of went, just kind of like that, non-judgment, like as much as I could,
Just
right?
nodding.
So anyway, then I go to find the guy, and he's picking up like 5 pizzas, and I go, "Hey man, is this your car? You've parked in front of my door." So again, he goes, "1 second," and I go, "No, you're waiting for." He goes, "Just 1 second. The other people parked here. I'm just picking up my phone. 1 second." I'm like, "Oh, am I on your time now?"
Did you say that?
So I wait for this guy.
You didn't say it.
He comes back with.
Bullshit,
I didn't say that. I did
It's
not
something
say
I
that.
would do, but you think it. I say it, and it's a problem that I
know.
have.
And I'm the pizza guy.
So and you're the pizza guy. So as he comes back, and I'm like, unbelievable. And I go, this guy is so inconsiderate. And this woman goes, I love SmartLess. I listen to SmartLess every day. And I go, well, this is going to make it into the show. So you're going to hear. So you're out there, whoever you are. She's a very nice lady.
So the guy comes back with the pizzas and
He comes back and he's like, these other people parked on the other side of me, and he was like Italian or something because he kept going, they parked on the other side, and I couldn't get it in anyway.
That's not Italian.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, so anyway, so you're good? Are you good now? Are you all loaded up?
Can I load my car now?
Yeah.
with myself.
You know what it is? It's when people do shit and they have zero consideration for the world around them, which is a lot. It's like people with their driving again. It's like blinkers.
Yeah.
It's like, put your fucking blinker on, man.
I know. That just happened to me yesterday.
But our guest, I bet you he wishes people would use their blinkers because this would impact him directly because of what he does.
Because he rides motorcycles?
Well, let's just say this. He's a real-life action hero in that his
You
job...
got
in,
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I said real life.
Oh.
I said real life.
Oh, wait. I can pick it off the laugh right
This
there.
This is a guy who turned pro in what he does at the age of 14, I'm pretty sure. He dominated for about a dozen years of being the number one at what he does. He's the first person ever in competition to pull off a 900, what they call a 900 at the 1999 X Games. He is one of the most recognizable people in the world. He's got all sorts of foundations. He's now got a new podcast that is going out to the whole world. He's an incredible
Called Tony
athlete.
Hawk
He's an
Talks
incredible
About
guy,
Shit?
and his name is Anthony Hawk. Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
No
Come
way.
on.
There he is.
Hello
Wow.
there.
Tony, welcome to the podcast, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
So excited to have you here, man. I'm so
Thank you.
such a huge fan of what you do.
Unbelievable.
You're one of those people I watch what you do and I go every single time, I could never do that. I could never do that.
Nothing you do could I do. Is that the name of your new podcast, Tony Hawk Talks About Shit?
No, that's not the name of your new podcast. What is the name of your new podcast?
It is called Hawk versus Wolf, and it is with my friend Jason Ellis, who had a very good run of success on SiriusXM. And he and I started actually on SiriusXM together about 15 years ago, and both left there eventually and decided to come back together and tell our stories. And it's fun. He is hilarious and has been in some of the craziest situations, and I have my share of stories too.
Wow.
First of all, Sean is champing at the bit. He loves people's crazy scenario situation stories more than
love it.
probably anything, and he's hoping that it involves you being hurt. But let me just ask you this, Tony, and you've been asked this a million times, and I'm sure you're bored, but take us back. You started as a pro skater when you were a teenager. What was that moment of like, you're a kid who skates, grew up in Southern California, and all of a sudden you're doing it professionally? What was that?
Which is kind of in quotes, right? Because there wasn't a bunch of money in that business at the time, right?
Right. Yeah. It's more along those lines. It was kind of like being deemed a professional hula hooper. It wasn't. It wasn't some. There were no contracts being offered to me. I basically entered I filled out an entry form to a competition, and instead of checking amateur, I checked professional, and that was it. I was pro. I moved up a class in competition, and I was competing for $100 first place prize. But I was 14, and $100, I was on my way to buying a moped. So it felt awesome because it was, in terms of like what I was doing and the world I was in, that was the top of the line. But I never imagined it'd be a career, not at all.
And so you maybe turning pro wasn't a huge deal in terms of the purses and stuff initially, but you are like going to competitions. Was that just Southern California, or were you instantly kind of around the country, around the world?
At that moment in skating, it was almost exclusively in Southern California.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Dogtown Z-Boys era had kind of ended, and skating was starting to sort of implode. And so the only skate parks around were in Southern California. And so my dad was driving me to all of them.
So was there was there a moment in that industry where stuff blew up? And I'll bet you were either a part of that or solely responsible for that, or certainly in attendance at whatever event that was, where things went, oh my God, this is now, you could definitely sense it was the start of sort of the X Games or what helped out with snowboarding. And like, did a bunch of things coalesce at a certain moment and the industry became white hot?
Yeah, I think that the perfect storm was the X Games was on the rise in popularity in the late 90s. Our first video game was released in 1999, and all of those things happened at the right time, and skating blew up in the early 2000s and got to a point where I never imagined. I never dreamed that, we would be on television or be doing arena tours, and it was wild. And it kind of, it has wavered a bit in popularity, but the foundation is set, and I feel like it's always going to sort of be there as a choice for kids to be doing it as readily as baseball or basketball.
How much time do you spend thinking about pushing the sport forward in developing not only just new tricks, because I think gravity will probably present the ceiling against that, but thinking about incorporating those friggin' those scooters like blades, or those motorized skateboards, or like, do you feel a burden to think about, okay, what's next? And I've got to stamp this. I've got to drive it. I've got to keep the sport growing so it doesn't plateau out. Do you feel a responsibility for that at all?
I guess I do in a sense, but I don't. I think of it just more along the lines of fun and how do we continue to keep the awareness of skating or to broaden the reach of skating. But I can tell you the Olympics are going to do that by default. Next month, skateboarding is making its debut in Tokyo 2021 Olympics.
That's incredible.
That's so exciting.
Incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would assume you're going to be there. You're going to be a part of that in some capacity?
I am going to be there. NBC has me doing interviews and wrap-ups and things, but they haven't actually given me my exact job description yet. So I'm just excited to be invited because it's not easy to get to Tokyo to even be there at all.
Yeah, is maybe your job description is just go over there and be rad and be Tony Hawk. By the way, speaking of rad, it's a word I still use, and I imagine you use it too. I've gotten a lot of flack for using it. It's still okay to use rad, right?
I feel like it's come full circle.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool,
Yep.
and now we're back in it.
We're so back in it.
You know what?
Tony Hawk and I are back in it with the rad. Hang on, Jason. I'm still basking in the glow of.
He has validated
the
that. What
rebirth.
I would like. How do you feel? I feel like the clothing version of that is overalls. I would like to offer that as maybe some. I would love to. I really miss wearing overalls. Wore that a lot back when rad was invented, and which is short for radical, Tracy. I would like
Nice.
I would like overalls back in. So if you can maybe put that into the culture, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have that much pull. We can bring back rad. We can make it cool. Overalls would be hard.
Wait, Tony, what are you doing in New York?
I'm here for our anniversary, my wife and I. We actually escaped the kids for the weekend.
Yeah, you know what? But by the way, Tony, you don't have to answer that. What
Yeah,
is
you
this?
don't
Some
have
kind
to-
of grilling about his personal life? What he's doing with his wife? He's having a nice weekend alone.
He wants to know what shows you're going to go see, and I'll bet
Yeah,
you're a
he
big
does.
musical fan, right?
Yeah.
Are you?
Do you have any great Broadway stories, Tony? Do you have any Broadway mishaps?
I am working on a Broadway project.
Of course you are. Are you being
Oh my
serious?
gosh.
Right?
Yes, I am.
Starlight Express comes back.
Not Starlight Express.
Starlight Express. What is it?
Well, it will incorporate skateboarding, live skateboarding, and music from Mark Mothersbaugh, some of the Diva library,
Wow,
and kind
that's
of the
cool.
story of Outcasts.
Oh, all of a sudden, Jason and Will are excited. Okay, keep going. That's really cool.
What a cool idea. How far along are you guys on that?
Yeah, and can Sean be part of it? Sorry.
We as far as we can get through COVID, but
Yeah.
we have a book and we are working on music and everything. It's awesome. I mean, and Mark Mothersbaugh is a genius, so it's been so fun listening or watching him come up with this stuff.
Hey, Tony, how many kids do you have? How old are they, and do they skateboard?
Between my wife and I, we have 6 kids.
Whoa.
Good Lord.
5 boys, all adult age now, all in college or graduated college, and they all skate.
That's amazing.
I have a 12-year-old daughter that she dabbles in skating, but none of her friends really do it, so she's not hooked on it the way they are.
And do they feel any pressure to try to be as good as the greatest skateboarder of all time? I mean, how are they comfortable with that?
My oldest son, Riley, he's 28 actually, and he is a pro skater and is far better than I am in many ways. And the other ones, they don't take it as seriously. They enjoy it very much, and they're all very good in their own right, but they're not trying to make a career out of it. I think they just enjoy the sort of auxiliary opportunities that we get, especially if we're traveling. One of the first stops always is whatever skate park is in the area.
Right.
Now, whenever I've seen you over the years, you always, because of your line of work, you always get to dress however you want. You're like right now, and you're in a hoodie, you're skating, you're in shorts or whatever. It's always just super cash. Have you ever had a job where you actually had to wear like a suit or some kind of
Anything with buttons?
any kind of uniform?
Have you ever learned how to use a button?
I don't know how to tie a tie, if that's what you're getting at.
Is that true?
That is true.
Wow.
I have one tie in my closet. It's pre-tied, and I loosen it, and then I tighten it.
That is
Okay, there you
And
go.
if anybody ever unties it, you're screwed, right?
Oh, it's bad. Yeah, it's a bummer.
I didn't really know how to tie a tie until I started doing Arrested Development, and then I had to tie a tie every single morning for a few years. And
Is that true?
That is true. Yeah.
What about you, Sean? You any good with a tie?
Yeah, look at me.
Yeah. Of course you are. This is the first time Sean hasn't been wearing a baseball hat in 19 years.
I know. My hair is so gross.
To answer your question, the only real job I had was being a paper boy as a kid.
That's a bike and a front basket and long tosses.
Yeah, I did it on a skateboard.
Oh, did you
Oh,
really?
you did it on a skateboard.
Did you
That's
really?
hilarious.
I did. Yep.
Now, I'm sorry to digress for a second, but I'm a goofy foot. That means I'm a lefty, Tracy.
Same.
Now, when I'm kicking, getting speed up, the kicking foot needs to go to the back of the board when you're done kicking, right? Not the front of the board. I think I'm doing it wrong, and I think I'm teaching my daughter to do it wrong.
Yeah. So what you're describing is what we call Mongo, and you are pushing with your front foot, correct?
Yeah, you're so Mongo, dude.
And Mongo is not rad.
No, it's not rad, dude. It's not rad at all, dude. You're so Mongo and so
Ew, you're
unrad.
that's so gross.
Mongo's
Will.
Rongo?
And if you want to get into the weeds, it's because you are pushing with your front foot, and then when you put your front foot on the board, you have to readjust your back foot as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of adjusting happening. So
A lot of things that can go wrong in that transition.
yes,
And it's because
yeah.
you're insecure, right? Is that what you're going to? It's because you're insecure and you have a lot of issues that you should deal with and you haven't dealt with because
Right.
you're too Mongo in the head. Mongo is a state of mind, right?
Exactly, yes.
I'm going to fucking kick your ass, Arnett.
Mongo. Guys, I can't do the podcast today. I'm feeling a little mongo.
I'm too Mongo. I'm too Mongo to do this. Oh my God. This
Now,
is
what
nuts.
do you have to say to the kids out there about elbow pads, knee pads, and helmet? All the time, or just when you're doing something that's carrying a lot of speed, or you're dealing with the ramps, the half pipes, things like that? I mean, if you're just going down the street, you're getting from place A to place B. Is it what kind of pads are we talking about? Any at all?
Well, I recommend pads for beginners, absolutely. Helmet can save your life. And especially when you're skating the bigger ramps and things. I mean, that's just pure survival.
Yeah. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hey guys, this episode of SmartLess is brought to you by Brooklinen.
Mm-hmm.
It's summer again, and that means it's hot. I don't have to tell anybody else that. We all know it's hot. And nights that are too hot to get any sleep. Enter Brooklinen. Crisp sheets that breathe to keep you cool mean you can say goodbye to sweaty summer nights.
Brooklinen was started to create beautiful, high-quality home essentials that don't cost an arm and a leg. We're talking buttery, soft, and breathable sheets, plush and absorbent towels, cozy robes, and comfy loungewear, Sean, that you're going to want to put on and never take off.
Yes, and they work directly with manufacturers to make luxury available directly to you without the luxury level markups. So you get their amazing array of products at a reasonable price.
You want to know something, Sean? These folks are so gosh darn confident in their core products that they come with a 365-day warranty. And their fans are super confident too, because these people at Brooklinen have received over 75,000 five-star reviews. And it's still going.
Well, we're two of those fans, so they can click that number up a little bit more. My favorite thing is the sheets. My favorite thing, I know they have tons of stuff, but the sheets I use, I cling to them with dear life because they make me feel so cozy and warm and comfortable. I love it. I can't get enough of them.
You just rip them off the bed, drape them over yourself, and running around the house, right? I mean, Scotty thinks there's a bunch of ghosts living in your house, right? Now, listen, you give yourself the comfort refresh you deserve and get it for less at Brooklinen. Go to brooklinen.com and use promo code SmartLess to get $20 off with a minimum purchase of $100. That's Brooklinen, BROOKLINEN.com, and enter promo code SmartLess for $20 off with a minimum purchase of $100. There's more. That's brooklinen.com, promo code SmartLess. Now we're done.
We are supported by CBD MD. Guys, it doesn't matter where you are in the country right now. It's hot as hell outside, right? And whether you plan to beat the heat by staying indoors, jumping in the pool, or traveling to cooler climates, you're gonna wanna be comfortable while you do it. And lucky for you, Our good friends at CBDMD have exactly what you need to stay pain-free all summer long. CBD Freeze with Menthol is an award-winning gel product that offers instant temporary cooling relief for sore muscles and joints in a convenient and easy-to-use roller or shareable squeeze tube. I like to use my time indoors, so I'm not sweating outside, by, brushing up my piano skills. I played piano for a long time. I put that CBD Freeze with Menthol on there right away, and it works almost instantly. It really, really does take the pain away, and I'm free to play super, super easy after that, and it really, really works. To make it even easier to celebrate the summer of you, they're offering all our listeners 25% off your next order when you use the promo code SmartLess at checkout. Once again, that's cbdmd.com, promo code SmartLess for 25% off your purchase of superior CBD products from CBD MD.
SmartLess is brought to you by Hellofresh. What I like about Hellofresh is the idea that they send you all the ingredients you need to have a fantastic meal. And for me, that's kind of like most of the battle. First of all, I don't know, when I go to a grocery store, I feel like I'm just like a guy without a map. I feel like I'm just wandering around and I don't know what I'm doing. With HelloFresh, I feel like a man with a compass, and my true north is delicious. With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. And you get to choose from 50 menu and market items each week, from vegetarian meals to craft burgers and extra special gourmet options. They're all available. And there's really something for everyone to enjoy, with all recipes designed and tested by professional chefs and nutritional experts to ensure deliciousness and simplicity. I wish Bateman was here. Could talk about simple. You know what I mean? Anyway, the best part is he can't even hear me. Bateman can't defend himself. What a position of power I'm in here. Anyway, HelloFresh's produce gets from the farm to your door in less than a week, which means fresh, high-quality ingredients. And get this summer, HelloFresh has everything you need to get grilling. Get grilling. Grilling bundles, burger packs, surf and turf packs, and more. And all of that means less shopping and more sizzle. Huh? Aren't we all looking for a little sizzle in our life? Go to HelloFresh.com/SmartLess14 and use code SmartLess14 for up to 14 free meals plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/SmartLess14, promo code SmartLess14 for up to 14 free meals and free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
All right, back to the show.
I want to talk about, Tony, the guys know I love to talk about this. What's the worst injury? I know you're probably sick of talking about it, but I'm fascinated with stuff like that. Worst injury and how long did it take to get over?
I broke my pelvis, and it took me about 6 weeks to walk with a severe limp.
How old were you?
I think I was 37 or 38.
Oof. How many times have you been to the emergency room? Over or under 15 times?
Over.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Sean, you broke your pelvis when the Macarena came out, didn't you? Because you just went so nuts. You were so taken with the Macarena.
I was so excited.
And then what's the thing the kids do with the fists, shaking back and forth behind them and in front of them and behind them and in front of them? You re-snapped it on that, I think, trying to learn that, right?
Oh, that one. Yeah.
What's that one called?
Oh, flossing, yeah.
The flossing.
Flossing.
Jason, did you just get an email from 2017? What happened? So Tony, you've been to the hospital dozens. You broke your pelvis, and I like the way you had to think about it. You're like, I guess when I broke my pelvis, did you ever have like a big injury when you were a kid, and your folks were like, dude, you got to stop skateboarding?
They never told me to stop, but they were concerned because I got a pretty bad concussion early on, knocked out my front teeth, and I remember I had a string of injuries all within a year when I started getting serious about skateboarding. And then they started sending me insurance forms in the mail as if I were an elderly, high-risk patient.
No way.
So, and my parents said, oh, this is because you've been to the hospital so many times. But I was lucky in that they knew I was going to keep doing it.
What happened for you when the moment when you're like, oh, this I'm going to march right up in front of my parents and say, basically, how do you like me now? I told you it was going to work out, and things are working out for me, and start getting on board because look what just happened. Was it a check? Was it a contract? Was it an award?
Honestly, I got really lucky. My parents were always supportive of it, even when the outlook was bleak. And so they were as excited and surprised as I was when I was making money. And I literally bought a house while I was a senior in high school.
Wow.
You bought a house while you were in high school?
Yeah, in my senior year. My dad co-signed for it because I was not 18 yet, because he was encouraging me to obviously put my money away because he could see that it kept coming and I was not really concerned with saving it.
That is officially rad.
And I know I've read things about you that you're an entrepreneur. You have a bunch of different businesses. What are they?
Well, mostly my skate brand, Birdhouse Skateboards.
Yeah.
We have one here at the house.
Oh, thank you.
My 12-year-old has one.
You're the reason we've been going for almost 30 years now.
God, that's amazing.
And then we have a foundation, the Skatepark Project, for public skate parks in underserved areas. Hawk Clothing is a clothing brand that my siblings and I started for. Well, it's basically supposed to be like skate and surf clothing for kids.
That's so cool.
But turned into something bigger than that.
Do you have like a lifelong battle with security guards? Like when you see a security guard, because they're the people who are trying to keep you from skating everywhere. Do you see a security guard? Does your back arch up a little bit, and you're like, "Here comes my enemy"?
I endured them through the years. Obviously, I'm more of a skate park or ramp skater, so I'm more about skating in designated spots. But you would be surprised at the anomaly of the stuff that I can get away with sometimes when I get recognized.
Of course.
Wow, I'm sure.
Yeah, like you could just jump into somebody's backyard and start skating, and they came out, and then they see it's Tony Hawk, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
Not a problem."
Just keep at it.
Do you
man.
need me to take the water out of this pool? Just give me a few
Yeah, I'm
minutes.
sorry. Do you want somebody to drink? Can we film you?
We went to an apartment complex where they had an empty swimming pool that we heard about, and we got there, and they were very eager to kick us out. And then one of the guys recognized me, and then they welcomed us and made barbecue for us.
That's awesome.
That's true.
That is awesome. I want to know, how old were you, and what was the moment where you kind of looked around and said, wait a minute, I can blow this thing out into a corporation much bigger than just skating, into all of these businesses that you started? Was there a person that caught your ear and was like, hey, if you were smart, you would kind of like branch out and do all that stuff? Or was there something that inspired you that happened? You're like, wait a minute, I think now's the opportunity to hit while the iron is hot.
I think it was in the early 2000s when suddenly my name was synonymous with video games, and people started saying my name as more of a company or a brand than me personally. That was when I realized that it had a broader reach and that I could probably do a lot more, like have a lot more opportunity, and maybe create other direction or other businesses through skateboarding. And that's when I started the Boom Boom Huck Jam, which was an arena tour that featured skateboarding, BMX, and motocross. And it was all stemmed just from that sort of recognition factor that I had.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Does your skateboarding talent translate similarly to a snowboarding talent or a surfing talent?
A little. I have been surfing almost as long as I've been skating, but I don't like big waves. I don't like being held underwater by the sheer force of them. And snowboarding is maybe a little bit closer for me. I've been doing that since actually it was invented.
I wonder if, does Kelly Slater skate as well as you surf, or does Shaun White skate as well as you snowboard? I'd love to see that smackdown between the three of you guys.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll tell you, Shaun White is an excellent skateboarder.
Yeah?
He is a pro skateboarder as well as a pro snowboarder. Kelly on skateboards, not so much.
Yeah, but he can play golf. My God.
Can he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a great dude. We should play with him.
Wait, Tony, do you play golf?
No.
Okay, well, we're going to start you real soon. The other thing is, my son just finished, my 12-year-old, 12-and-a-half-year-old, he just did his first, he just did a week of surf camp, and he did really great, and he had the same thing, though. Like, he was just like, there were a couple days where there was a pretty big swell. Now, I'm gonna start using verbiage that Tony and I know because we're both kind of rad.
Yeah, kind of talk slow for me and Sean.
Yeah, so there's a pretty sweet swell. Anyway, he got, after the first week, they gave him the award for best wipeout because he took a board to the nose.
Sorry, what he was cleaning something? You said Wipeout?
No, he took a board to the nose. He was not a white. Sorry. I know. Jason's such an inside cat.
He was cleaning something. Something fell on him, so he swelled.
We were out. They were kind of barreling. Well, okay. So here's the deal. So we're anyway. The point is, he's surfing, and he took the thing to the nose. And I understand that thing about surfing. I didn't surf my first time until my 30s. And sometimes when those waves get big, I'm like, yeah, I'm scared of being held down by a huge wave. That kind of bums me out. I like a lot of the other stuff, but that thing really freaks me out.
And also the water tastes like shit.
Well, yeah, there's that. But
you know, maybe we can put a little stevia in it to cut the salt.
Have you guys, Jason and Sean, have you guys ever surfed?
Stevia.
Yeah, man.
No.
Are you kidding me, bro?
Boogie board.
When?
Oh,
When?
jeez. I mean, I'm bored of it now. A lot. No, I do.
I know you skateboarded.
I once stood up on a board just long enough, and it's just been the one time, but long enough to go, oh, wait a second, the waves get smaller once you stand up. I did a lot of boogie boarding when I was a kid, and of course the waves are at their max height because you're always on your belly. But once you stand up on something, you're like, oh, I'm already 6 feet. So a 6-foot wave is, I'm looking it right in the eyes, so it's fine now. But that just happened the once.
I'm remembering, Jason, you talking about, correct me if I'm wrong, but hearing Tony talk about skating as a kid is reminding me of you with your skateboard on the bus in Woodland Hills. Is that ringing a bell?
Yeah, I did skate quite a bit when I was a kid living in the Valley, and when I had to get myself to auditions, I would jump on the bus and ride it into downtown, and then I'd have to skate a bunch of blocks to my audition. So I'd have my little skateboard and my headshot and my resume in a manila envelope, just skating down Hollywood Boulevard at 12 years old and, just trying to make a living, man, while you were, figuring out how to flick boogers in elementary school. Punk.
So you're OG, Jason. You are OG.
Oh, he's OG.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Back when they were plastic boards with big, dumb, ugly wheels, and only one tail on that thing.
Yeah, I don't believe you rode a plastic board. I don't believe you're that way.
Yeah, it bent in the middle. It was, but well before wood was invented.
Oh, those skinny ones, those real skinny ones?
Yeah.
Sean, have you ever skated? Did you ever skate at all?
I did. I had a skateboard when I was little, but, I tried it once or twice and wiped out, and I was like, well, that doesn't feel good, so why do it?
Yeah, why put yourself through it?
Why put myself in that position to just wipe out again and hurt myself? I didn't understand.
And then back in the red wagon, right?
Yeah, and then back.
Screw this skateboard.
And I had Tracy pull me all around the neighborhood.
Tony, what's your least favorite thing, sort of thing that's out there about skating, like some sort of cliche or something that's always bummed you out or just feels really inorganic? You're like, that's not.
Well, I think that there were a lot of stereotypes about skating or skaters that they were just stoners or outcasts or problematic, and I think that it was just more that they were looking for something else. They didn't fit into team sports. That's how I discovered it. I didn't really feel like I fit into team sports, and I found this tribe of misfits that were very artistic, very creative. And the whole idea that skaters are just trying to be punks is more because they didn't have any place to skate, so they skated on public property, and hence the whole security guard issue. And I feel like when you look deeper into it, you see that skaters are disciplined, they're creative, they're responsible. I mean, most of my friends are dads, and they skate when they can, and they pay mortgage and just have regular lives.
Given that skating is so sort of simplistic, the physics of it, just a board and some wheels under it, it could have started like literally back when the wheel was invented. Is there an agreed upon start of skateboarding? Like, who invented the skateboard? Do we know?
Marty McFly in 1957, right? 1957.
I'll tell you what,
Was it?
that movie was a huge boost for skating in the 80s.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Massive.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
those were
No,
boards.
it's always hotly debated of how it started. The general consensus is that someone took a 2x4 and nailed roller skate trucks and wheels to it. What year that was or where that was is undetermined.
Mhm.
Wow. That
Right.
would be. I smell a movie in that.
You mentioned like about a bunch of your friends that are dads that still skate. At what point and what age do you look at them and go, "Oh, maybe it's time to maybe
Too
you
old.
don't hop on that thing"?
Yeah, what is the
Just looks a
cutoff
little
there?
like-
Is it osteoporosis when if you just catch a small rock and you jump off the board, everything snaps? That's probably the age, right? And what is that? 70?
I'll let you know when I get there.
Yeah, that's great.
I think I'm the one testing the waters the most.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see like when you see those big pharmaceutical ads for like, heart thinning stuff and whatever, you never see them skateboarding, right? Like they're on walks and stuff. I guess when you're,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Tony, is there another sport that you look up to that either you've always wanted to try and you're like, gosh, that is the ultimate, you have the ultimate respect for that. And is there one specific one?
I do have a huge respect for the people who ride giant waves. I mean, that just seems so terrifying in terms of survival.
Yeah. Laird Hamilton's got nards for all of us, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when you see, but also I feel like the technology has come a long ways. So obviously they're better equipped for emergencies. But it just to go out there and to know that, like, I'll skate a ramp any day, any size ramp, but I know that ramp is not going to crash down on top of me once I fall.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, like Laird Hamilton, he's kind of an outlier too, like you. Like he kind of did his own, like he's created his own thing in big wave surfing, right?
Yeah.
And he kind of pioneered a lot of that. Am I wrong about that or am I right about that?
No, absolutely. He lives in a different realm of safety than anyone else I've ever met.
So cool. Tony, what kind of music do you listen to? Are you do you have like favorite bands or a certain type of music that you would listen to?
Oh, and then tell us your favorite color and your fucking astrological sign. Hey, man, why don't you fucking dig a little bit deep? This is your guest, for Christ's
I'm
sake.
trying to put him in a box. I want to see if he's like into like.
Favorite
I want to know
music.
if he's into like Southern California, kind of like that sort of pop punk bands, like the Blink 182s. If that's his deal, or if
I
he's more
see.
old
So it's
school indie, like
skater
me.
related.
Yeah, because we're the same age. We're roughly the same
Got
age.
it. Okay. Go ahead, Tony.
I would say more older punk, like The Clash, Circle Jerks, Black Flag, that kind of stuff. Because
Sex Pistols.
Sex Pistols, yeah. I mean
Yeah, really fun.
that was the soundtrack to the skate parks when I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I knew and loved. And Devo is heavily on rotation.
Yeah, Mark Spa. There we go.
And we will be right back. Listener, this episode is sponsored by Tonal. Now, there's a traditional sort of way you can go about training with the sort of the dumbbells and the bench press and all that stuff. But Sean, I know that you've been thinking long and hard about pushing weight around, and
Yeah.
you might not want to wait any longer.
Well, and I was one of those guys that, in the 80s would buy anything I saw in a commercial, I would buy one of those equipment things.
Get yourself one of these Tonals. Tonal's wall-mounted strength training workout machine features a pulley system with adjustable arms that offers over, Sean, 170 different moves for a full-body workout.
I only got 2 moves.
Yeah, well, push-ups and sit-ups ain't going to cut it anymore.
Let me jump in here. Let me take a guess.
Please do.
Tonal's intelligent features, do they save you time and maximize the results set
You
after
know
set?
it. You know it.
I bet while you get stronger, Tonal gets smarter, learning from your body how you can lift and increasing weight exactly when you can handle it.
Boy, you're intuitive.
I can't wait to get my Tonal. It's arriving soon. I can't wait to start using it and lifting like you would in a gym. And I heard and read that when you're working out and you're lifting and you can't quite get the last rep in, it senses that and it spots you like a personal trainer would. I don't know how they do it, but I can't wait to try it. Guys, try Tonal for 30 days in your home, and if you don't love it, you can return it for a full refund. Visit tonal.com. And for a limited time, get $100 off when you use promo code SmartLess at checkout. That's www.tonal.com, promo code SmartLess. Tonal, be your strongest.
SmartLess is sponsored by Hunter Douglas. I'm gonna level with you. This is me getting kind of real. This is real talk. I never used to think too much about the blinds in my home. I adjust them sometimes in the morning, close them at night, sure, or just forget about them entirely. But I never really understood how much window shades could actually do until I discovered Hunter Douglas. This is a true point. Hunter Douglas offers unique shade designs that actually transform raw sunlight, casting a beautiful glow across the space and brightening dark corners of a room. Think about that when you're doing whatever it is you're doing right now. Imagine casting a beautiful glow across the space you're in and brightening that dark corner. Don't you want to transform raw sunlight? Their energy-efficient shades lead the industry, providing insulation against heat and cold for year-round comfort and helping save you on your utility bills. The best part is their PowerView automated shade system. You see, with PowerView technology, you can program your shades to move automatically throughout the day based on what you want. From letting in light slowly as you awake, opening entirely for a sunny breakfast, adjusting to block the hot midday sun, or just raising just in time for a perfect sunset. Whatever it is you want, you can program them to do that with PowerView. My favorite thing they do for me is I like to get that real nice end-of-day glow. You know what I mean? Like that, just like what we like to call in the biz industry magic hour. That's what I love. The sun's just gone down, and then I put it up, so you just get that beautiful glow in the sky. That's where Hunter Douglas steps in. Visit hunterdouglas.com/smartless today for your free Style Get Smarter design guide with fresh takes, creative ideas, and smart solutions for dressing your windows. That's hunterdouglas.com/smartless for your free design guide.
This episode of SmartLess is brought to you in part by Solo Stove. Let me tell you something about Solo Stove. There's just something that feels magical about summer nights. Am I right, listener? It's felt that way ever since I was a kid. Maybe it's the gentle breezes, the symphonies of animals and insects, or my personal favorite, the warming glow of a campfire, day or night. A smokeless fire pit from Solo Stove turns magical summer moments into unforgettable memories. Solo Stove creates story-worthy moments, listener, without the fireside fumes or the risk of a horrendous forest fire. Their stainless steel construction is designed to regulate airflow and burn more efficiently, so little smoke, you'll wonder how there's so much fire. I mean, listen, am I wrong? When's the last time you were around a nice romantic campfire and you're looking across to your partner and you're about to say something real steamy, real sweet, real let's get the night going, and a big waft of smoke hits you or your partner in the eye, and now the mood's ruined? This doesn't happen with Solo Stove. Solo Stove fire pits are portable and built to last. They're so confident you're going to love it, they've offered a lifetime warranty and a 30-day free return policy. No one needs a reason to gather around the fire. Solo Stove just took away any reason not to. And now you can get $10 off when you use promo code SmartLess at checkout. Just go to solostove.com and remember you get $10 off when you use promo code SmartLess.
And now, back to the show.
What is the thing like Tony Hawk's skating and the video games and everything about your life is out there in the world of sporting? What is the thing that people are like, I didn't know. Like the Broadway musical, people are like, wait, you're working on a Broadway musical? That's pretty cool. Is there anything else like that people be like, wait a minute, what?
I used to play violin when I was a kid.
Oh, that's amazing.
I literally gave it up for skating.
Wow.
Because my music teacher told me that I had to choose one or the other.
Wow. And do you miss it?
I do miss it, yes.
And at the time, it was really kind of a toss-up. What had the best income potential between the two careers, right? I mean,
I don't think either one was were choosing glory.
Were you mad at your violin teacher for making you give up the violin a little bit? Is there a little? I sense some resentment.
A little bit, yeah. I feel like I should have just kept playing for fun, but I listened to him and.
You know what you could do, and this is a good way to it might be cathartic and good way to kind of get over that, is find out where they are, your violin teacher, go and buy their house and then as soon as it closes, tear down the house and berate them and say, this is on you. You made me do this. You know?
Dude, if you picked it up again, could you play right away or no?
I tried. It was no, it was not easy.
And do you like classical music? Do you listen to that stuff?
Not really, but I think that if I were to pick it up again, I would try to just cover old songs like Clash and Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, if you rolled up to a stoplight and you're on your skateboard and you're pretty cool and you're very rad, and all of a sudden you pulled up and there's some dude in a family car and he's playing classical music by himself, would you be like, what a nerd? And I'm talking about Jason
Bateman.
Not at all. No, my wife is a huge fan of classical, and so sometimes when I get in her car, that's what's blasting.
Hey, have you had any embarrassing design sessions with any of these video game animators about hammering them that, no, dude, I don't skate like that, or my face doesn't look like that, or do you really grind them on sort of on your style? Do you care about the accuracy of your likeness in any of these? Are you a stickler about a certain part of your technique that you like them to get right?
I think that's probably my biggest job through doing video games now is keeping it authentic, because they've already figured out how skateboarding works, motion, graphics, locations, and things. So really, I just need to step in there and say, no, this grind should look like this. You should be catching the board like this on this trick, and yeah, I get into the weeds on it.
Do you ever wear any of those motion capture suits? And
he's probably done it a million times, right?
Yeah, many times.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
I imagine it has evolved so much in the time since the first Tony Hawk game over 20 years that you quite literally probably know a lot about motion capture and the evolution of it, right?
Yeah, I did it early on where you had to wear all the ping pong balls and have a million cameras set up that took forever. And I do remember getting in the suit that is so, it's already embarrassing. You're feeling very vulnerable in the skin tight suit with all these balls. And it was like, okay, go do your hardest tricks and go.
Jason, you never had to turn tricks with balls, right?
No, not a bunch of balls all over me.
Yeah,
but,
I'm just trying to remember.
But the cameras were always on, and there was a maximum of 2 balls. But so, Tony, are you the best at those games? Like,
No.
I imagine there's some competitions that. How would you place in those? The video game competitions?
I can hold my own. I've learned through the years that if you have a game with your name on it, you should be able to play it and at least know how to complete it without cheating.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people that have a lot more time to spend on it, and they get scores that are 10 times what I can do, 100 times what I can do sometimes.
I've played it many times. I've owned a few versions of your games, just FYI. I didn't want to lead with that, but I'm a bit of a gamer, and it's
thank you.
Excellent game. Excellent game.
Well, we remastered, if I may, the first 2. And so they're out on all the new systems, including Switch, was just released yesterday.
Wow.
Well,
No
all right.
way.
Congrats.
Nice. I'm on it.
Sean, I guess we just figured out what you're doing tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, for my birthday, I'm just going to go
yeah,
nuts.
Happy
Sean's-
birthday, Sean.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thanks so much. Thanks. My brother texted me a picture of my mom's glass eye and said, "Mom and I wish you a happy birthday."
His mom's been dead for a few years, Tony, just so in case you didn't
Just
know.
FYI.
Well, Sean, happy birthday. Your dad and I'm having drinks with your dad tonight because it is Father's Day, and he reached out to me to hang. But
That's cool. That makes sense. Anyway, Tony, sorry.
Sorry, Tony.
Sidetrack.
Sorry, Tony, we digress.
But yes, your video
I like
game.
it.
I'm going to get it. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to win it, and then I'll text it to you.
I appreciate it.
I'm getting it for you for your birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Tony, and so you have this foundation where you create all this, space for kids to use, blah, blah, blah. Like, by the way, I say blah, 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 like a complete jerk. But what I mean is this is something that's important.
That's our mission statement, actually. Blah, blah, blah.
Is it?
Skate parks, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I just mean that it's a lot. It was hard for me to encapsulate. Like, you guys do a lot of
I know,
stuff.
Angel. Yeah.
I know. How long, what do you see as sort of a breakthrough? Has there been a tipping point in terms of Okay.
Just sound it out.
Are
man.
you bored? Are you bored by what
Jesus.
Tony's doing? I mean, Jesus Christ,
land the
Jason.
plane, bro.
Yeah.
Check your notes.
I'm asking, what is the goal? Is it everybody skateboarding by 2050? Like that's what I mean. Like, are we all?
That's
is
the
it
goal, yeah.
skateboard nation?
No, the goal is more to have public skate parks in underserved areas, but also just so that anyone can go find a skate park in their area. We've been doing it 20 years, and we've helped to fund over 500 parks that are completed now, and we're coming into 900 that have been funded. And
Wow.
that's the work I'm most proud of. I think if I had to choose a legacy of some sort, that would
If
be
that
it.
nut job Elon Musk said, "Hey, why don't you hop on my jet and we'll go to the skateboard on the moon?" Would you do it?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, he would.
Wow.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
I would love to see it.
As long as it doesn't cost me anything.
Yeah. It's good.
Um,
By the way, I said Elon Musk is a nut job. I mean nut job in a great way. This guy's done
no,
incredible
we all
things.
took it that way. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Now, skate parks seem like a real easy thing to put into a city budget, right? I mean, it's just basically we need a bit of land, dig a hole, and then shape it, pour some cement. I mean, it's about the cheapest thing you can do with civic engineering, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, you would think it would be that easy. It's more the stigma in skateboarding, and they think that the skate parks are somehow going to attract a bad crowd and be a bad influence, and that's usually the biggest barrier for getting skate parks approved. Once we approve projects or give them funding, that's usually the endorsement they need to get it sort of pushed through all the red tape.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny, like you spend all your time, you talked about the stereotypes of like, you know, it's a bunch of stoners and whatever. But now, given the environment we live in, can you imagine if you announced that you were releasing a line of weed, all your critics would be like, see, he's just been waiting.
We knew it.
We knew it.
We knew it all along.
And you're like various
Yeah.
types of weed, like this is really good for ollies. This type of weed is really good for doing, you know what I mean? This is like skate park weed. This is just like parking lot weed.
After the skate park, wind down weed.
They all
yeah.
just have trick names.
Yeah.
I'll bet you'd have a real decision to make if somebody approached you with just licensing just a
Yeah.
weed brand. You could
Let's
make
do it.
it
Tony,
hand
just do
over
it.
fist
Fuck
now
it.
that
Who
it's all
cares?
legal.
You're 53.
Come on, man.
We're not going to judge you, dude. I will defend you. I will
Yeah.
defend you.
Or just gummies, not any flour, bro.
Oh,
no
does
vapes,
somebody like gummies around
just
here?
No, I hear
I
that
see.
they're
Okay.
fantastic, though.
Skateboard shaped gummies.
Yes.
Oh,
They're-
there you
ding.
go.
There you
See,
go.
this guy's got so many good ideas. It's
There you
unbelievable.
go. That's it.
Where do you stand on the skateboards with the motors on them? Does it make you cringe?
No, I don't. It's fine with me.
That's the one I'll take.
And people say, there are all these purists that say, well, longboards is not skateboarding because they're just transportation. And I say, hey, whatever gets you out there and on a skateboard and active is fine with me.
Amen.
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of people out there with complaints these days with stuff like that, and everybody's taking positions. And you know what my position is? Shut up.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, we've taken up way too much of your time, especially considering it's your anniversary weekend.
Yeah.
What an absolute honor to have you on the show,
So
man.
nice to
Honestly,
meet you.
Yeah.
incredible.
Very nice of you to spend some time with us.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's I'm a huge fan. I listen to your show and all your other work
Thank you,
as
pal.
well.
Thanks, man.
We're going to listen to yours.
Thank you.
Good luck with your podcast that's out now, and maybe I'll see you over there this week.
Yeah, let's go. We'll be here.
All right.
All right, pal.
Thanks, Tony.
See you guys.
Bye, Tony.
Bye.
Bye, Tony. Thank you.
So that guy, Tony Hawk, is a super nice fella.
Yeah, he's really nice.
He always seems nice in the interviews that I've seen him on. I'm so glad that I wasn't wrong with that.
Yeah, he's great.
He's always looked 15, and then when he said
Yeah.
he had a 28-year-old kid, how old a fella is Tony Hawk?
I think he's 53.
And he's
All
still
right.
skating. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Like,
he's still skating. He looks terrific, doesn't he? Doesn't he look incredible?
Yeah. What? By the way, one of the for me one of the funniest lines from today's show.
Oh, we're gonna do highlights?
Yeah, was when Jason said, "Oh, I wasn't sitting. Hey, Will, I wasn't sitting in class learning how to flick boogers."
By the way, and you know what I resented about that? I was sitting in class. I was teaching how to flick boogers. You know
All
what
right,
I mean?
I apologize.
All right.
I
I was
apologize. Sean,
anyway.
I'm just
I moved out of the house at age 12, by the way. That's a
Yes,
true
I know.
story.
moved or dismissed.
I was moved out of the house
Yeah.
and sent to all boys boarding school age 12.
Sean, I cannot believe you're sharing some of your birthday with us. Why
Yeah,
didn't
how
you
about
just
this?
say, listen, Saturday doesn't work for me? Because
It sounds like, Sean, you and the Hawks need to coordinate next year and start doing your birthday and their anniversary together.
Together, that
like
sounds
you
like
and Scotty and the Hawks
Yeah, and the
in
Hawks.
New York.
Yeah.
Right?
just catching shows.
By the way, how cool is it? Tony Hawk is his real name.
I know.
That's
That's
one of
pretty
the-
cool.
Yeah, that
Most people have to change their name to sound.
I'm very excited about his skateboard Broadway show. Sounds
Yeah.
very
Yeah, that
friggin'
sounds.
cool.
I love that when you said, what did you say?
Starlight Express is coming back.
Starlight Express.
I hate to age myself here, but that was like a real eye opener, right? When they all
Yeah,
those
because it was all everybody was on skates.
roller skates,
Roller skates live.
The stage that they built for that, it was just a bunch of half pipes and tubes
Yeah.
and
I never saw it. I don't think it was a big hit, but I never saw it.
Was it not?
It was one of the biggest flops of all time. It
Is
was
that
a
true?
Oh, it
Huge,
was really?
yeah, it was a huge flop. Yeah, because they spent so much money on all the stuff you just described. Sean, how excited will you be to go and see the Tony
show.
Hawk?
Yeah, who
Yeah,
wouldn't
Broadway
be? I'd
show.
see that. By the way, that's what's cool is like seeing skateboarding live on stage every night. Like I can only imagine the set they're building must be massive.
You see, now I could like Broadway. Now I could
See,
like a
there-
Broadway
that's a
show.
show you like.
If there's always the chance that they could crash and shut up, you know what I mean? Then I'd
Well,
be
what
like,
about
okay,
Cirque
well,
du Soleil? Do you ever go in there and wait for some tragedy?
well, that's not Broadway.
Well,
Cirque
but
du
you know,
Soleil.
it sounds like you like to sit there and
Theater.
wait for something terrible to
I
happen.
do like some Broadway. It should be noted. I say that in jest. There have been many shows that I've gone to that were great. but I'm
Cats.
not
You've
a-
been to a half dozen times, haven't you?
Well, I've never seen Cats.
Really?
I never saw Cats. Never. Les Mis, never.
But you know, if you really want to go see that Tony Hawk show, you should be first in line to
Buy
a ticket. Buy a ticket. Buy a
Happy
ticket.
birthday, Shawnee.
Happy
you.
birthday,
Thank
Sean.
SmartLess. SmartLess.
The next episode will be out in a week wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can listen to it right now early and ad-free on Amazon Music or by subscribing to Wondery Plus in the Wondery app. SmartLess is 100% organic and artisanally handcrafted by Bennett Barbaco, Michael Grant Terry, and Rob Armjarf.
SmartLess.